Why is southern France invaded by American World War II vehicles every year? It's very amusing seeing the sleepy, relaxed towns of southern France to be woken up to the sound of roaring engines and car vehicle horns. It's quite a clashing sight to see. Every few years, my family takes a trip to the Mediterranean coast of France. It's very nice soaking rays from the sun on the beach, fresh baguettes and croissants from the bakery. There's a cycle route along the seafront, the Promenade des Anglais. It's segregated from the traffic and is very flat. The best bit stretches around 15 kilometers. It's a very nice route to cycle on. So, you can understand why 14-year-old me was rather confused when I saw lots of World War II vehicles travelling past me as I cycled along the seafront. 3 years later, when I was on the beach, I heard some sirens and went to check it out. Again, American World War II vehicles going along the coastline. I knew they were American from the giant white star painted on a lot of the vehicles. 2019, I'm in France and I'm walking back from the beach in Terhul, and I see a single Jeep pulling into a car park. After the driver parks up, I ask him if he's here to join the convoy of vehicles that travel along the coast. This is when I learned that these vehicles were taking part in the Operation Dragoon anniversary celebrations. When I got back to the flat, that's when I started doing some digging on Operation Dragoon. Operation Dragoon was the code word for the Allied invasion of southern France. It took place 2 months after D-Day, so think of it as D-Day but for southern France. The intent was to open up another front with the Germans. Around 150,000 Allied troops were involved with the initial landings. With such overwhelming strength, the Germans put up relatively little resistance as they opted for the defensive tactic of retreating. Plans were already in place for the likely event of withdrawal from the region, as the situation on every other front was looking grim. The units left to guard the coast had mostly been stripped of their valuable units and materials. There was almost no Axis air presence in the region due to massive Allied air supremacy. The Allied forces raced to overtake and surround the German units falling back to prevent their successful withdrawal from the region. Over 130,000 Axis men were captured. Operation Dragoon was relatively low down the pecking order of importance, and is often referred to as the Forgotten Landings. One reason may be because there was so much going on in Europe, the Allied push upwards through Italy, and the breakout in Normandy. Another reason is that it was largely successful. Unlike the losses on the beaches of Normandy or the Anzio landings, most of the men involved were veterans of other naval landings. Losses were relatively low for the Dragoon forces. Operation Dragoon is said to have been one of the best prepared naval assaults of World War II. Operation Dragoon is celebrated on the anniversary of the event starting from the 15th of August every year. It is celebrated by different towns depending on when they were liberated by the Allies. Finding information on when and where anniversary celebrations were happening was not easy to find out. From my understanding, for the anniversary of the original Operation Dragoon landings, reenactors and World War II vehicle enthusiasts follow the original route that Operation Dragoon took in 1944. They go from town to town. I was not able to find the complete route of where the Operation Dragoon celebrations took place. I was only able to find locations for 2 of the events, and that was only thanks to a local French friend of mine. From him I was able to find out that there were celebrations in Cannes and Nice, along with their timetables. Even on the local town event websites, I struggled to find out when these celebrations were happening, let alone the big picture of where these enthusiasts were also visiting. I took a bit of footage in Cannes, but the bulk of footage you're going to see is from when I was in Nice. I'm going to be quiet now and I'll let you enjoy the footage in peace. hope you enjoyed that footage. This is just one part of my southern France adventure. My next video will be on the Alpine line, where I was lucky enough to get access to one of the largest French forts on the border. From its twin cannon retractable turrets to its darkest depths 600 meters into the side of a mountain, it was an amazing experience and I can't wait to share it with you. Thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed the video.